Okay, let's unpack this. We're diving into what seems like well, a real contradiction in the real estate world today. You've probably seen those headlines, right? Screaming, home prices are declining.
Hmm.
They're everywhere.
And then, almost in the same breath, other reports suggest real estate commissions are actually rising, even after that big settlement.
Yeah.
The one changing how agents get paid.
Yeah, the one shifting towards more uh, explicit buyer fees.
Exactly. So, how can both be true? Prices down, commissions up. It feels like a puzzle.
What's fascinating here is just how easy it is to get tangled up in those headlines,
Yeah.
pulling you every which way. Our mission today really is to cut through that noise. We want to help you understand what's actually happening on the ground,
Sure.
right here in the Atlanta housing market.
And we're going straight to the source for this.
That's right. We're using a detailed analysis from a YouTube video recorded just this Friday, July 25th, pulling out the key insights for you. Okay, good. So let's tackle that first piece then, the commissions. Our source mentioned in an Atlanta Business Chronicle article, called it a surprising turn, commissions going up.
Hmm.
It just seems so counterintuitive, doesn't it?
Ah.
Especially now. Why would people pay more?
This really makes you think, doesn't it? The source lays out the core reason pretty clearly. It boils down to a willingness, a conscious choice by buyers and sellers to pay for better representation.
Okay.
And think about it like this. The analogy used was, you wouldn't go into a serious court case trying to defend yourself, right? Not usually.
Right, you want an expert lawyer.
Exactly. And buying a house, for most people, that's the single biggest purchase, the most expensive transaction of their entire lives. Are you really going to navigate all that complexity, the contracts, the negotiations with zero professional guidance, just kind of hoping for the best?
Probably not, when you put it like that.
So for many, the answer's a clear no. They see the value and expertise, and they're willing to pay for that service.
So it's framed as a value proposition, an investment in getting it right for a huge life event.
Hmm.
That does reframe it. But, okay, then we run smack into the other side of the paradox. That same Atlanta Business Chronicle purportedly had a headline, Atlanta home prices see a notable decline.
Mm-hmm.
And I mentioned the top 24 housing markets went backwards year over year. How does that square with rising commissions and this demand for value? What's happening with prices?
Okay, right. That data point, while, technically accurate in a specific slice of the market,
Mm.
it needs some serious nuance. The source clarifies this really well. Those declines you're seeing hyped in the headlines, they primarily reflect the higher end, the luxury segment.
Ah, okay, not the whole market.
Exactly. When interest rates stay elevated like they have been, it's those really expensive properties that tend to feel the pinch first. They sit longer, maybe see price drops.
That distinction is key then.
Mm.
High end versus the rest of the market. And speaking of the broader market, our source then zooms right in on the median sales price. And this is where it gets really interesting.
Yeah, the median tells a different story.
The speaker in the video, they apparently been tracking this personally, year over year. They had notes from July 26, 2024, median sales price in Metro Atlanta was $400,000.
Okay.
Now, fast forward to this week, July 25th, 2025 context, the median sales price, $460,000.
Wow.
That's a $60,000 increase year over year in the median.
Precisely. So the median sales price has absolutely not gone backwards. It's climbed significantly. Those high-end trends, they just don't paint the full picture of the broader market, the middle ground.
Especially when you think about affordability for most buyers.
Right, or even cash buyers who aren't as rate sensitive. That middle segment is holding up. It's robust.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
So with that context, let's look at the snapshot of Atlanta's local market activity. Like for this current week, July 25th, 2025, what do the day-to-day numbers tell us beyond just the median price trend?
Yeah, the raw activity data is where you really see the dynamics, the push and pull. It paints a very nuanced picture. So get this. Almost 820 new listings hit the market in just the last 7 days.
Wow, okay. Lots of new inventory.
Yeah, but the median list price for those was around $450,000. And this is where the source points out a bit of a disconnect. A lot of that new inventory might still be priced a bit too aggressively.
Sellers maybe being overly optimistic.
Could be. Now, compare that to homes coming back on the market deals that fell through. Only about $280,000.
Okay, so fewer deals collapsing. That sounds positive.
It suggests maybe less fallout than you might expect. Yeah, a bit more stability in the transactions that do go under contract.
Interesting. What else?
Price reductions. This number is huge. We saw 2,316 price drops this week. a massive amount.
2,300. Whoa.
Yeah. The median price point for those reductions was just under $400,000. But here's the kicker. Only 32 of those homes with price reductions actually went under contract. Just 32 out of over 2,300.
So reducing the price doesn't automatically mean it sells.
Exactly. It shows that clear disconnect again. Many sellers are still maybe reaching too high, and buyers, they're waiting. They aren't biting until the price feels right, until it hits that sweet spot.
Gotcha. What about listings that just disappeared, expired, or withdrawn?
Good question. We saw 217 expired listings. Their listing agreement just ran out. And about 460 were withdrawn. The seller pulled the home off the market.
Why would they do that?
Often it's lack of interest or realizing they were way overpriced. And look at the median list price for those withdrawn homes. $504,000.
So reinforcing that point about the higher end or maybe just wildly overpriced homes struggling more.
Precisely. Those are often the ones getting pulled back.
Okay, so what is selling? What's moving?
Right. Let's look at the positive movement. About 530 homes went active under contract recently. Median list price there was $449,000. Then you have about 1,005 homes currently pending. Their median list was $440,000. Okay.
And then the closed sales for the week. 833 homes sold and closed. Their median list price was $469,900, and the median sales price was $460,000. Pretty close.
Okay, 833 closed sales. Median sale price $460K. So if you boil down those closed sales, what are the sort of key takeaways, the performance indicators?
Yeah, if we connect this to the bigger picture, the average sales price compared to the list price,
Average-
it was strong, 97.89%.
So sellers getting very close to their asking price on average.
On average, yes. And the average stays on market, just 27 days.
27 days. That doesn't sound like a bad market at all.
It really doesn't. These numbers, they clearly show that the market isn't bad if you approach it correctly.
Yeah.
Realistic pricing, good representation, it works. It's a market that rewards, strategic thinking.
So wrapping this all together then, what does this really mean for you, the listener, if you're thinking about buying or selling in Atlanta right now? It feels like all this data just screams the importance of having good guidance, doesn't it? Proper representation. Precisely. That's the core conclusion from the source material. With the right advice, the right representation, you can absolutely navigate this market successfully. Whether you're buying, selling, maybe doing both. Understanding these nuances, the stuff behind the big headlines, that's what's key to making smart decisions, not just reacting.
What a fascinating deep dive.
Yeah.
It really shows the Atlanta housing market is, well, it's much more complex than the simple narratives suggest. We've seen the median prices are actually climbing, even if some segments face headwinds, and that expert help seems more valuable than ever.
Absolutely. And this whole discussion, it kind of leads to a final thought, a question for you to mull over. When you see these different stories playing out, the high end struggling a bit, but the median price pushing steadily upwards, what does that suggest? What does it tell us about the fundamental, maybe the long-term value of property in a growing city like Atlanta? Does it maybe reinforce the idea that your local market's reality, not the national news cycle, should be what really guides your thinking, your long-term financial strategy? Something to consider.